Hey, welcome back. Joe Cox here, getting you through this narcissistic world so you can live the life you were designed to live. So, what we're going to talk about today is taking back your power. Do you realize just how much power you really have? Chances are, if you grew up with narcissistic parents, you have no idea the amount of power you have over your own life. What I know today, if I had known at 18 years old, I'd never had a problem even being brought up by narcissistic parents. So starting at 18 years old, I graduated high school reading at a fifth grade level. It wasn't because I wasn't capable, it's because the toxic environment. If you've gone through life thinking you're not smart or not bright or something's wrong with you or you need to be fixed, that's all from the narcissist. It's not true. None of that is true. You were born the perfect you, and your goal is to live the life you were designed to live. Become the best you. And we're going to slowly get you through all the things you needed to know at 18 years old, but maybe you haven't learned or you didn't learn how to apply them. This channel is a lot different than a lot of the other channels, I believe, and you can give me feedback on it, is I try to make this channel more about applications, how you take the information that you may even get from the therapist or the doctors, the licensed practitioners, all these type of people, especially if they have not actually gone through it themselves. They know a lot of the theory on it, but I'm going to help take you through the actual practical applications of how I achieved it and how I became the person that I wanted to be. My first goal is I didn't want to be anything like my parents. Nothing. I even knew that at 16, 18 years old, especially at 19 years old when my father, I followed his lead and got me arrested. So that's another story. But it's like, okay, then what am I doing? And I'm trying to struggle and trying to guess my way through life. Life is not supposed to be that way. You're not supposed to guess your way through life. How is it that we've had so many generations after generations, and we as humans, as a general rule, the majority of people are guessing their way through life? That is mind-boggling. You would think, wow, each business, as it grows, it gets better and better. Why is it that humans don't do that in their families? Why don't they grow from generation to generation? A lot of them do. And that's what I talk about in the book, is that they have information that most of us didn't have. That's why they thrive. They can work through emotional situations. They have emotional intelligence. I didn't have a clue. And even as an adult, I behaved in ways I look back and I'm ashamed of myself because I acted so emotional because I didn't know how to handle them. I had a good head on my shoulders, but if you're not taught how to handle things, you're still going to, or chances are, you're still going to boggle it up somewhere. You're still going to struggle through trying to figure it out. And a lot of us do gain the wisdom through trial and error. That's pretty much how I gained most of mine, trial and error. But the one thing I think that made the difference is I always wanted better. I always wanted to try to figure it out. That right there made me a target of my parents. Both of them are total narcissists. My father's more of a covert. My mother's a more overt, malignant type. But I couldn't believe that all the verbal attacks that she gave to her children, not one person ever stood up for us. Looking back, it's so obvious, but nobody ever stood up, including my stepfather. He just let her abuse us. I'm like, I thought when she got remarried that we would have somebody to, have her back. He just helped her. He just helped her inflict all the pain on her children. My stepsister says he must really, he he really loves her and he'll do anything for her. That's fine. Blah blah blah. This is my interpretation of what she's seeing is that he loves her so much he'll allow her to abuse other people. That's not love. That is not love. And I told her that. And I said, if you interpret that as love, then you will always have trouble finding a relationship that's not toxic because that relationship is completely toxic. When you love somebody, you want them to become a better person. You want them to be happy of mind, body, and spirit. So they're, in their late 70s now, mid late 70s, and I don't try to, I've even reached out trying to get them to go back and make things right with their kids. So the objective of this video is just to help you know that you were born the perfect you. I want to help you get there. I want to help give you the tools that you need to live the amazing life that you were designed to live. I want to make sure that you understand that all of the stuff that I've been through, none of you have to feel sorry for me. I've received quite a text that says, I'm sorry you went through that and all. And I appreciate that with much gratitude. But it's okay. I'm in a good place now. I understand it, and really, in reality, it puts me in a better place to help others because I've been there. That's what I'm saying. The therapists have not, most of them have not been beat down to a pulp to where they've lost everything they had at one time and struggled for 12 years, dark night of the soul, trying to figure this out. Why was my soul so broken? And most of them are only looking at the body and the mind. I focus on looking at the spirit because that's where I realized with my seventh therapist where all the problems were. Once I realized that's where the problems were, then I went looking, trying to figure that out. That's what I said in the book. I felt like I fell through the cracks. I had something going on with me that not even a therapist could fix, but not even a bishop or a preacher could fix it either. I kind of fell in between there. I'm like, because if the preacher is religious and is trying to fix me, and the therapist is only mind and body, where do I fit in there? And I figured it out. I figured out finally what was bothering me and how I needed to be healed. I first figured it out when I read a book by Dr. Bradley Nelson. It's called The Emotion Code. That was an eye-opener. And I was willing to try anything at that point. But I talk about it in my book. And even after the first session, you don't physically see anything happening because it's all spiritual based. But I could feel it over the next 48 hours. I felt it. I felt the shift inside me. And a week later, I did it again, and I felt the shift again. So I'm like, okay, something is happening. I don't know what it is. I went through Emotion Code on and off for over a year and found myself getting better and better, being able to think clear. That's when I got back into real estate and I became the #1 agent. The first 18 months I was back in the business. First full calendar year, I was the #1 agent in the office. And these are high producing team agents. To be able to do 7 figures within 18 months when I couldn't even hardly make $15,000 a year prior to that. I struggled just to work. I struggled all the time and I couldn't figure out what was going on. But when that aha moment that says, Joe, you've got something here. Go this route. Let's see. By that time I was so desperate I was willing to try anything. And that right there, that was the game changer. And then, as you know, my wife came back into my life, and just so many things all about that same time. And my life started lining back up. I realized God never forgot me. And that was always felt forgotten because, you know, the way my parents treated me, I'm like, did God give me parents that hated me on purpose because he hated me? I had to change all that thinking. That's toxic thinking. Life actually works for us. It doesn't happen to us. Narcissists create the toxic stuff that happens. Life doesn't. The narcissists do it. They have free will and they have freedom of choice, and they are choosing to take on that toxic karma, toxic energy. The key is to have self-love and focus on yourself. That's the only way. It's not selfish to focus on yourself. I say that over and over again, and you might say, Joe, I get tired of hearing that. I will always say it. It's not selfish to focus on yourself as long as you're not taking away from another. Just don't take your kids' lunch money in order to go get your nails done. That's a joke. That would be selfish. But it's okay to spend time to go get your nails done and do things like that, or go get a nice haircut, go out and have a nice meal, go out for the day and have a good time. Go out to serenity, go out to the woods and find your serenity and find your peace and your harmony. I talk about it in the book, finding, getting grounded, earthing. That is healing. What you want to do is work on things every day that balances you and heals. The earth is healing. It's always trying to heal itself. So these are kind words today to help you know that you're an amazing human being. I'm proud of you for watching these videos. Please comment below if I can talk about a certain topic. Let me know if there's something I'm not going into depth enough. Everybody comes from a different situation. So unless you let me know, I'm not sure if this is helping you or if there's something more I can go into in order to make sure you're getting the necessary information. Have self-love. Remember, you were born with self-love. The day you were born, you were excited. You were here on earth. Hey, babies, they are 99% pure of what they incur. Now, there's some prenatal things energy that they can get from the outside world. So I say 99% because they come into this world of energy, and a lot of us were born into toxic. I didn't realize how toxic my world was that I was born into with my parents. It was horribly toxic looking back. It's amazing that I made it to an adult. Let's put it that way. I got sick, and my parents, from what I understand, didn't even take me to the hospital. My grandmother had to grab me and take me to make sure I didn't die. I think I was around one, a little less. I don't have the information details on that, and I haven't been able to find it. But I do know for a fact that, because I've got a scar as a result of it. I came into this world excited. I feel that growing up that I've always had an excitement to go out and do things. And my enemy, the sad thing is my enemy hasn't been out here. It's been my family back here. Instead of encouraging me, pushing me to do more, I'm having to watch the knives in my back. Every time I try to do something, their number one attack is breaking my character, undermining my character. The whole idea is to try to grow up, have a good reputation, and to have good character. How can you do that when your own parents are sabotaging your character? It's utterly amazing how they can do that. But no, their behavior says nothing about you. Their behavior says everything about them. Your behavior says everything about you. That's why I say always rise above it. Always do your part in every situation, whether I'm talking about respecting or whether I'm talking about kindness. Always do your part and never accept the lower standard. Hopefully these have been words of encouragement today. Like and subscribe if you like this. Check out the book, Life Made Simple, Secrets to Wealth and Happiness Hidden in Plain Sight. It's got a guarantee. I'll buy it back if you're not happy with it within 90 days of it. So far we got straight 5-star reviews, and I appreciate all you guys' feedback on it too. Much gratitude from my heart to yours. I wish you nothing but blessings. Bye-bye.